What happens when the world's worst criminals become humanity's last hope? What if the only people left to save the planet are murderers, psychos, and monsters no one trusts? This isn't the story of heroes. This is the story of villains forced into a suicide mission where death is almost guaranteed, and survival is nothing more than a fantasy. Today, we're diving into the insane world of the Suicide Squad. When heroes failed to protect the world, the villains were dragged onto the battlefield. The same people the government once labeled as dangerous monsters are now the only ones capable of saving humanity. A mission where dying is expected, and coming back alive feels impossible. This is the story of the Suicide Squad. These weren't superheroes. They were criminals with terrifying powers and broken souls. People who never used their abilities to help others, only to satisfy their own selfish desires. Some were assassins, some were psychopaths, and some were simply ticking time bombs waiting to explode. The government captured every single one of them and locked them away inside brutal prisons for years. But everything changes when a cold and ruthless intelligence officer named Amanda Waller walks into their lives with a terrifying offer. If they agree to complete an extremely dangerous mission for the United States government, 10 years will be erased from their prison sentences. Some of them refuse immediately. Others laugh in her face. But Amanda already knows something they don't. None of them actually have a choice. She mentally breaks them one by one until they finally surrender. And just like that, Task Force X is born. The world knows them by another name, the Suicide Squad. But Amanda never trusted them. She implants tiny explosive bombs inside all of their heads. The rule is simple: obey orders, or your head gets blown apart instantly. No escape, no second chances. Now the real nightmare begins. The team is sent to a remote island called Corto Maltese, where a ruthless dictator named Silvio Luna has violently taken control of the government. The previous king and his entire family were publicly executed in the streets. Fear spreads across the world because the United States believes Luna may soon use dangerous alien technology as a weapon against them. That's why the Suicide Squad is sent on a secret mission: destroy a hidden laboratory where horrifying experiments are being performed on a mysterious alien creature. The team approaches the island through the ocean under complete darkness. But before the mission can even properly begin, disaster strikes. One of the members can't swim and drowns before even touching the battlefield. The moment the survivors finally land on the shore, they prepare their weapons and get ready for war. But then comes the first shocking twist. Blackguard had already betrayed them. He secretly informed the enemy about the team's arrival before the mission even started. Soldiers were already waiting for them in the shadows. At the beginning, Blackguard proudly tells the others that he's the one who leaked the information and made a deal with the enemy. But before he can even finish speaking, the soldiers instantly shoot him dead without hesitation. The entire beach suddenly erupts into absolute chaos. Amanda Waller coldly orders the team to keep moving forward no matter what happens. There's no retreat, no mercy. One member desperately tries to use his powers, but they turn out to be completely useless in battle. Slowly, one by one, the team members are slaughtered in horrifying ways. Panic spreads everywhere. One terrified member tries to run away from the battlefield. Amanda warns him that if he keeps running, she'll kill him herself. But fear completely controls him now. He ignores her warning, and within seconds, Amanda activates the bomb inside his head. His body explodes instantly, a brutal reminder that nobody escapes Amanda Waller. Meanwhile, as Javelin dies, he hands his spear over to Harley Quinn with his final breath, telling her to keep it safe. After the massacre ends, only Harley Quinn and Rick Flag remain alive from the original squad. But this was Amanda's real plan all along. The first team was nothing more than a distraction. She secretly prepared a second squad that enters the island from another side. This new team includes Bloodsport, Peacemaker, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher 2, and the most terrifying member of all, King Shark, a giant humanoid shark with monstrous strength and the mind of a child. Bloodsport isn't truly evil deep inside. He's a hardened assassin, but he still has a heart. He never wanted to join this mission. Amanda forced him into it by threatening to throw his daughter into prison. To protect his child, he had no choice but to obey. The team takes a short break to rest, But King Shark suddenly tries to eat Ratcatcher 2 because of his uncontrollable hunger. Everyone immediately points their weapons at him, ready to kill him. But like a confused child, King Shark promises he won't eat his teammates anymore. Strangely enough, everyone believes him. Soon Amanda informs them that Rick Flag has been captured alive by enemy forces. Saving him now becomes their top priority. The squad storms into an enemy camp and starts brutally eliminating everyone in sight. Bloodsport and Peacemaker even turn the massacre into a twisted competition, trying to outdo each other with creative kills. Bullets fly everywhere. Bodies drop to the ground non-stop. But then comes another darkly hilarious twist. The people they killed weren't enemies at all. They were actually resistance fighters trying to help Rick Flag. A woman breaks down emotionally after seeing her friends slaughtered right in front of her. The squad awkwardly tries to calm her down, but the damage is already done. At the same time, inside a secret laboratory, a scientist known as the Thinker reveals the horrifying truth about Project Starfish. A gigantic alien creature resembling a massive starfish has been held captive there for decades. Smaller starfish can detach from its body, attach themselves to human faces, and completely control their minds. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn has been captured alive. She's cleaned up, dressed beautifully, and brought before President Luna himself. Luna tells Harley that he wants to marry her and use alien weapons to dominate the world. At first, Harley laughs at him like it's some kind of joke. But the moment Luna casually admits that innocent women, children, and civilians will die during his war, Harley's smile disappears instantly. Without warning, she shoots him dead. Because despite all her madness, Harley Quinn still refuses to hurt innocent people. Gunshots echo throughout the palace and soldiers immediately swarm the building. Harley is captured once again and dragged away in chains. Elsewhere, Task Force X continues deeper into the city. Peacemaker warns everyone to stay away from Polka Dot Man because the colorful dots erupting from his body are extremely deadly. Polka Dot Man finally reveals his tragic past. His own mother experimented on him and his siblings for years, trying to turn them into superheroes. The virus inside his body became his power, but it also killed all of his brothers and sisters. That trauma completely shattered his mind. Now the squad disguises themselves and enters the city to locate the scientist running the starfish experiments. They quickly track him down inside a nightclub. But before they can escape, the army discovers their location and surrounds the building. Ratcatcher 2 secretly helps the scientist escape through a hidden route while Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and Rick Flag are captured and dragged before the general. And then comes another shocking reveal. Harley Quinn is still alive. The team escapes captivity, and their new mission becomes rescuing Harley before it's too late. At the same time, Harley is being brutally tortured by the new president. But no matter how much pain she suffers, she refuses to say a single word. The moment the guards lower their attention, Harley snaps free, kills everyone around her, and escapes the prison in one of the most insane action sequences imaginable. When Harley reunites with her team, she becomes surprisingly emotional. Deep inside, she never believed anyone would actually come back for her. Now only one mission remains: destroy the laboratory forever. The scientist is forced at gunpoint to guide the squad inside the building. Once they enter, the team splits into groups. Bloodsport, Peacemaker, and King Shark plant explosives throughout the structure, while the others search for Project Starfish. Inside the lab, they witness pure horror. Dozens of innocent humans wander around with alien starfish attached to their faces, completely stripped of free will. The scientist reveals the terrifying truth. These experiments have been happening for over 30 years. The alien was originally discovered by the United States government, but secretly experimenting on it inside America became impossible. So they moved the project to Corto Maltese and continued funding it from the shadows. Everything becomes even more intense when one member accidentally triggers the explosives too early, causing massive chain reactions throughout the building. At that exact moment, King Shark stands near a gigantic aquarium. The explosions shatter the glass instantly and massive deadly fish flood into the room. King Shark is attacked viciously and severely injured before falling from a terrifying height. Blood pours from his body while soldiers above rain bullets down on him, but bullets barely affect him. Slowly, King Shark stands back up like an unstoppable monster and tears through the soldiers one by one. Elsewhere, Peacemaker prepares to kill Rick Flag after Flag discovers the truth about America's involvement in Project Starfish. The two engage in an emotional and brutal fight. Rick fights with everything he has, desperately trying to expose the truth to the world. But in the final heartbreaking moment, Peacemaker drives a sharp piece of debris directly into Rick Flag's heart. Rick dies instantly. Ratcatcher secretly witnesses the entire murder and escapes with the hard drive containing evidence of America's crimes. Outside, the building begins collapsing around them. Harley Quinn, Polka Dot Man, and Bloodsport struggle to reach the upper floors while Peacemaker hunts Ratcatcher down to silence her forever. Just as he's about to kill her, Bloodsport crashes onto the same floor. Without hesitation, both men open fire. Peacemaker's bullet flies straight forward, but Bloodsport's smaller bullet slices through it midair and pierces directly into Peacemaker's throat. He collapses instantly. Ratcatcher reveals the devastating truth. Rick Flag was murdered because the US government wanted to hide its connection to the alien experiments. And then, the giant alien finally breaks free completely. Starro rises above the city like a living nightmare. Massive, terrifying, unstoppable. Soldiers attack with everything they have, but bullets do absolutely nothing. Thousands of smaller starfish begin launching from its body and attaching themselves to innocent civilians. Within moments, entire crowds lose control of their minds and become puppets of the monster. The city descends into complete horror. Amanda Waller sees everything happening, but her real mission was never saving the city. Her mission was destroying all evidence connected to America's crimes. She orders the team to retreat immediately, but for the first time, the squad refuses to obey. These broken criminals can't stand by and watch innocent people die. Amanda threatens to detonate the bombs inside their heads, but before she can press the button, her own staff knocks her unconscious because even they realize she's gone too far. Now the Suicide Squad makes their final stand together. Bloodsport upgrades his weapons and launches an all-out assault against Starro. King Shark charges directly at the monster with pure rage. Polka Dot Man unleashes his devastating powers and badly wounds the creature's legs. For one glorious moment, he finally feels like a superhero, but Starro crushes him beneath its massive body, killing him instantly. Meanwhile, civilians controlled by Starro overwhelm Bloodsport. His ammunition runs out, forcing him into brutal hand-to-hand combat. And then Ratcatcher 2 remembers her father's final lesson. Rats are the most powerful creatures on Earth because they survive everything. She summons millions of rats from every corner of the city. An endless wave of rats climbs onto Starro's gigantic body and begins tearing it apart alive. At the same moment, Harley Quinn grabs Javelin's spear and leaps directly into Starro's giant eye. She pierces deep inside the monster while thousands of rats swarm through the wound from within. The creature screams in agony. Blood explodes everywhere. And finally, Starro collapses dead onto the city below. Silence fills the battlefield. The surviving team members emotionally remember their fallen friends, Rick Flag and Polka Dot Man, realizing that even criminals can sacrifice themselves for something bigger. Amanda Waller later contacts Bloodsport and threatens him once again, but this time Bloodsport refuses to back down. He warns Amanda that if she ever harms them again, he'll expose every dark secret from the mission to the entire world. In the end, they strike a deal. The government's secrets stay hidden, and the surviving members finally earn their freedom. But the story isn't truly over. In the final moments, we discover that Weasel somehow survived drowning, and Peacemaker is still alive despite his near-fatal injury. Both remain under Amanda Waller's control, meaning the nightmare may begin again someday. Sometimes the most broken people fight for the greatest purpose. The Suicide Squad teaches us that being a hero doesn't always mean being pure or perfect. Sometimes courage, sacrifice, and heart are enough. If you enjoyed this emotional, action-packed, suspense-filled movie recap, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Because here, every story hides a darker truth waiting to be uncovered.